Hello? Oh my goodness, hello, everyone. Nice to see you all.
So, now we're gonna get to viewer questions, or fan questions as they call it. You can guess who asked these questions.
Oh
Some of them
boy.
you might not know. You'll definitely recognize them, but some of them might play with you. Some might just be fans. Some you might know in IRL. So,
Oh my
starting with
goodness.
the first one, what was one of the best reviews you ever wrote, or worst, when you were doing that for a job? You can guess who it was.
Oh, like the Halloween costume things. The best one. Honestly, one of the ones that I'm just shocked that I got through it was so like, Paul Bunyan? I guess you probably,
Yes. Oh yeah.
yeah.
We're
It's
basically
funny because I
guaranteed
think
here.
he's like, yeah, he's American, but like he's kind of like, he feels almost more like this, like spiritually Canadian than American. But um, yeah, I had to write a a product description for a sexy Babe the Blue Ox costume. There were a lot of like sexy costumes,
Yes.
and that one was one of the strangest. It's like I had to write about Paul Bunyan, and I had to make it like not exactly erotic, but like I had to somehow account for the sexiness, and so I wound up like making kind of like goofy jokes about the possibility that they had been more than lumberjack and bovine companion. It was very strange,
That's great.
and I'm surprised I got through it, honestly. But
That's great.
uh, yeah, the worst one. Oh man, there were some that I was really uncomfortable with. There was one that was like, it was like one of the things that they didn't really do at this place was like care that much about being sensitive to cultural issues. It's like there were a lot of like Native American costumes, and like I literally, one of the things that I don't remember if I even finished it. No, I did actually, because I was like, someone should do this and try not to screw it up.
Yeah.
It was like a wig for the character. Was basically like a knockoff wig for the character Crazy Eyes on Orange Is the New Black. I want to say
Oh, okay.
it was like obviously supposed to be that, and it was just kind of like, okay, uh, interesting. I just didn't want it to be like, hey, wear this, wear this wig, and you'll look like some kind of like horrible person in prison who just ganks people for no reason and is a lunatic. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted to suggest that there were more possibilities than what what was obvious, I guess. But I don't think I did a particularly good job, and I'm not sure I did it for the right reasons or whatever. But that was the kind of thing that was definitely hard to do, and
Oh, well,
it's one of the,
it's in good hands, right? You,
well,
you took good care of it.
I tried, and I feel like that's not something that always happens with those. Some of the ones that people had filled in when they were just doing like really basic cursory ones were very, very cringy.
I can only imagine. This is pretty funny though, but it's like, who's ever met somebody who writes costume descriptions? You know, it's a close big boy gun. 75
Mm-hmm.
up the hill. No wrap left. Oh, he's actually east. I'm wondering if he could hear us. Try and get to this rock here. Found him. 25, running down the hill. One guy, I think. He's on the bottom now. Missed.
Spotted.
Oh. Hit him again?
That's okay.
Wow.
He's very good at the game. I wonder if he has a teammate.
No, I didn't see one. I throw a molly if I
Oh,
can.
that's interesting.
That might be him. He's left with a rock. He saw me. We should go to his phase 3. Oh, what a
But,
shot!
oh,
Woo!
you just zoned him into me. Feels good.
We got a bike too. another one on this bike right now. Left. Missed. Missed again.
Oh, that bike. No, you hit him.
No! Yay! Aw.
Oh, darn.
That's fine, though.
That's fine, though.
I learned that expression from you. I always try and say that's fine, no matter what.
It makes you feel better.
It's true. It's soothing. Circles. Eesh. He was fighting a guy up the hill. It looked like he was concerned with him. But he just left, so. This is really bad timing, but
One guy in the road. Guy in the road.
so-
345, other end of the compound. He's running left. He's like in those left buildings now.
chase him down here. I think we just have to push through 20 seconds. The circle's slow though.
Yeah, I'm juicing here for a second.
Only got stuns, which is fine. So in this building here?
Oh, he's further down.
Hello, Reed.
Oh, I see him in the compound 340, I think. That's
Oh, I see
glitching.
running up the hill.
Oh, bike
340. He's up at that like rock area.
I see. Yeah, two of them. I'm not gonna shoot. I think we could
All right,
wrap right on
that
the
seems
hill.
good. All right.
You see the bike glitching right
Marceline,
now?
thank you for 9 months. I don't see the bike glitch. Oh, there's one on the porch here. That's interesting. Upside
Do you
down on
want
the
to
porch.
take it in? Like, what do you think? That's probably
I
stupid.
don't know.
No, don't want to make noise. I always want to take the bike. It always hurts in the end.
Yeah.
Okay, we can hold here. I think we wrap right. Like, don't go up the hill. Let's go. Here, let's go this way. Let's see if we can get. I don't know if that's a shack. That's a lookout tower, isn't it? Yeah.
Honestly, PUBG's usually CPU limited, so you might be fine.
Take this shack up here on the right, 60. I see the guy
Oof.
shooting 75, I think. Yeah. Let's see. 80 top the hill.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's kind of
I think there's a solo on the tree.
dead.
Nice shot. On us, here. Left. Compound. Wanna flash them? Okay,
I gotta heal.
yeah, flash them. One on me too. No. Oh, hello!
Nice.
20 hopped him.
Yay.
We did it.
Dusty Boxman, thank you for 6 months.
Oh
Let's
no,
get it.
grenade.
Uh-oh.
Behind us,
That's true.
South. I think it's south. I'm not sure what side. In south.
I'm going around behind.
Woo, got him.
Nice. Here's the flank. Coming in with the hot flank.
There's like a vert grip here, Stuffsies.
I'm good with everything.
Okay, perfect. We are out. There's gotta be guys somewhere over there. We gotta get in, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's close in. Shit. Shoot, I mean, sorry.
You can say whatever you want to say, dude.
Oh,
I'm being shot
no.
from behind, I think.
Weird, because like, I barely hear them. Oh, they think they're north tower? Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Let's go left trees if we can. I'll try and snipe them. See him in the tower. What? Right side maybe?
Oh, that's a different team. I think west.
Just crawl in the smoke if you can. I'll try and get you. I think it's.
I think
bad
I'm dead.
play. Yeah, I think
Yeah, you gotta go for it. You gotta get in there.
Darn
That's okay. Oh my god, that is toxic.
Oh no. You're so close. Stuck.
Wait, Joe Donut says the sexy babe the blue ox costume?
That's one of yours, isn't it? I'll try and come up here and own these guys.
Hey, Fussel.
Never
Oh my
see,
god.
I can never see this guy. Just no idea where he is.
They changed the description. My sexy babe the blue ox costume description is gone.
I think I might have hit him. Nope. Yep. Oh, he's getting rushed. No, don't hurt me. I come in peace. Owie.
You're okay. You're okay.
I think. Oh,
Nice try.
hurts.
What are you gonna do?
To the angle he had. Oh,
Guys,
you
for the
wrote one of the
record,
rocks.
that's not the one I wrote. They changed it. I must have been too edgy or something. Your ears. What happened to your ears? Hey, Crystal. Oh, is it because Crystal's yelling? It hurt your ears?
So who do you
Yeah,
think
that's a
asked
bummer.
that question?
Who asked the question about the... that's a good question.
Yeah,
I think
can tell you.
one of the things that I wouldn't be surprised about is if you had a question from Eric, but I don't know if that's a question from Eric. I don't know who would ask that. That one's kind of
squashy.
That was squashy.
Mm.
Nice.
But you can guess this one. What's your favorite piece of Choco merch? That question.
That sounds like Mitch.
You're right.
My favorite piece of Choco merch is actually the last one that I saw that I was like, whoa, that's actually amazing, was the Choco Taco pinball shirt.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty cool.
I don't even know why. Like, some of these I'm just like, wait, what does this even mean? I mean, like, I'm fine with it. It's cool. But I'm just like,
So retro.
this has almost nothing to do with the famous Choco Taco, except his logo's on it. But the pinball machine was amazing. Actually, it reminds me of when he and Boom and I went to a barcade in Los Angeles when we were at that Twitch event last year. So, feels good.
That's awesome. So you guys got to go. That must have been a fun moment too. Let's go hang out with
Mhm.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that con Choco into streaming.
Actually, I think like, well, I don't know.
It was
I
a
don't
team
remember when he
effort,
started
wasn't it?
streaming, but I do remember like the first time that I played with Boom.
Mhm.
I TK'd him. He like ran into the bunker. I think Chaco's like brought this up several times, but yeah. We were at the bunker near shooting range, and he ran in, and I wasn't familiar with his character model, and I didn't see his name tag because it was back in the early days when everything was broken, and I was just like, I literally yelled like, "He's not with us," and I just shot him. And it was like, oh, whoops.
Weird flex.
Yeah, that feels bad,
That moment. Yeah.
but I was genuinely confused at the time.
And I have another question. So, okay, so we already went over like your all-time favorite games previously, but what are your all-time favorite games like right now, currently?
I'd still say BioShock is up there for sure. BioShock is always gonna be up. up there. Mass Effect. I'm almost. It's been so long since I played Mass Effect that I'm kind of losing touch with it. But I still love that Mass Effect felt like playing science fiction. It was like some of the side quests and things were as much fun as like an episode of Star Trek or like something you could find in short sci-fi fiction.
Oh God, I know.
But
That game.
yeah, that was a good one. And I don't know. Dota has to be up there somewhere. Even I hate to admit it, but it's it's like I don't even know where to put it because I just played it so much it almost doesn't even feel like a game. I'm sorry, this is as far as I made it.
The same here. I'm gonna come back. Okay, and then also, when are you gonna play? When are you gonna play Smite? You gonna play it soon?
Play Smite. Thanks to Adamus. Oh my God. I played a fair amount of Smite. I tried to go back to it, and it was actually just too upsetting. Like the number of freaking memories just tied up in ropes, flopping around everywhere. I couldn't handle it, man. I honestly, like, I hate to say that that's the reason, but like, holy bananas, dude! It's just, it's like an abomination. It's crazy.
It's just bursting with.
It actually is.
Content.
It looks like people are gonna pop in that game. Like I'm scared for them, and they're all supposed to be gods and stuff. It's like what? Holy
really
cow, dude!
Not be upgrading. The plastic surgery is not safe. Really. I mean,
It really isn't.
Right?
Although I guess if you were a god, you know, you could do whatever you wanted to your body.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. It's tricky. I mean, it's one of those things like Osiris got chopped into a bunch of pieces and whatever was the whole thing. So I guess it didn't like that. It doesn't necessarily hold true all the time that you can do what you want with your body as a god, but it seems like in general you can do more than the average person and get away with it.
This is true. So I guess you already know who asked that question. So another one is, do you remember one of your friends was playing PUBG with you, and you were playing with Scarlet, and you just sat using like 50 bullets in the Winchester? Do you remember that moment?
50 bullets in the Winchester.
Yes, you just 50 shots. You're just shooting everything and everyone.
Oh man, playing with Scarlet. That's a good question. That sounds like probably something that happened early on with Meckham, but I don't know that for sure.
You got him. You're so good, dude. You're owning.
I just, you know, I do what I can.
Wow, I did not expect all these people correct.
I remember like the first time that me and Scarlet and Meckham played together. It was a lot of fun.
It's got chemistry. That's for sure. Lots of fun. I did watch a few of those games. Way back. Way back. Like, I think something like a year back.
Yeah. Maybe even longer than that at this point.
Yeah.
It was very early on. There's a mini here. I don't know if that interests you.
So you can share.
Oh.
Mini duo team.
I have an SKS already. I'm all set. So. Although if you want Team Unity, I mean, I'll pick up the mini. If that's what you want to do, I'm fine with that.
No, I'm good. Let's see. So that was Meacham, and next one is, who would be the worst person to be stranded on a desert island with? Wah, wah.
Oh, that's a tough one. The first thing that popped into my mind was Donald Trump. Honestly, that just sounds miserable. But
what
like,
if it was the person asking the question?
Oh boy.
Oh, sorry about that.
Is this Broadstroke? Is this some kind of a trap?
No, no, it's not a trap. Heck no. Just think of someone who maybe very ambitious, very intelligent young man who gets teased a little, but he's a really smart kid. And he deserves props.
I feel like there are a lot of those floating around.
It's
No
true,
offense.
that's how we all felt. It's how we all felt or feel sometimes.
Hmm.
Baby shark doo doo.
Wait, hang on. I honestly don't know. That's like that one.
lark
Oh, is
shark,
it a
you know,
boogoose?
yeah,
Oh,
it's a
lark
lark
shark.
shark.
Interesting. I wouldn't have expected him
Thanks,
to ask a question. But
Yes.
worst person to be stranded on a desert island with. I've gone in the same building like 4 times now. Are we supposed to leave? I think we're supposed to leave.
Oh no, we're in. We're good. We don't need anything. Yeah, no, I was just joking. Lark Shark's probably at. He's definitely not the worst. I'm not gonna rule him out for second worst.
I mean, I have no idea. Like, I have never met him. I mean, I haven't met Donald Trump either, but I feel like I've seen pretty much all I need to see. The thing that, like, I feel like physically there are certain people that you could push around enough that it wouldn't be that much of an issue. Like, you could say, you stay on your half of the desert island, I'll stay on mine, and they would have to listen to you. There's some people who it's like they would be like detestable, and you would have next to no control over what they were doing, and that would be frustrating. But honestly, the number one person who would be frustrating to be on a desert island with would be myself. That would be the hardest part.
I was worried you were gonna say that because I feel like that's just me.
It's kind of a loophole too. It's like if I could just not be on a desert island with myself, then things would be great. So
You're a smart man. You just thought your way out of ever getting stranded on a desert island. It's never gonna
easy.
happen. Look at that, chat. That's some crafty read think right there. Can't outwit the master.
Only on certain things, like 90% of everything, especially if it's practical daily life things, I'll do it wrong. But ask me a question like that, and
You'll do it right.
I'll solve it. Not necessarily in a practical way, but.
Are you like a mathematician for words?
I guess so.
Sorry.
I mean, words make a lot of sense to me. Words make a lot of sense to me. And most things that you can understand in terms of math, I can only understand in terms of words. Like, I don't know. The thing that made math make sense to me was physics, and I feel like the thing with physics is you can kind of translate the math into something like words. Like, at a certain point that breaks down and you just have to understand the math, but it's definitely not like, it's not math for math's sake, and that really helped me out. It was like amazing how much all of a sudden I wanted to know how to do all the things that I had just ignored because they seemed confusing and unhelpful to me.
Okay. But you're a pretty smart guy.
I don't know about that.
That's
I mean,
the rhetorical question. The answer is yes, and you're just supposed to be like, next question, because you can't say yes because you're too humble.
I mean, like, watch me play PUBG for 5 minutes and then tell me that I'm smart. I don't know.
That's how I feel about myself too. So we're in the same boat there. So we got another guy. Somebody you might know. If you could make a game, what genre would you make?
Oh boy, that one sounds like, well, it could be a lot of people. The people I would think of would be a Boogoose and the famous Choco Taco, but I don't think that's a famous Choco Taco question. So we've talked about making games. Honestly, like, more than a genre in particular, the thing that I would like to do is just make a game. You know, like, I play so many different games where I'm like, you know, the creators loved this game. Like, they did a lot of things that are not, you know, like, I wouldn't have done. They made a game that maybe I wouldn't have been interested in making. But when you play the game, you can just tell that so much care was taken with it that it feels like it's just a treat. It's just a treat to play something like that. It just feels good.
Yeah.
So I would want something like that. I would want something that at the end of the day. Whether it was something that I was super interested in making, like, because of the mechanics or the, you know, the type of game or whatever, I would like people to be able to say that somebody took good care of the game that they were making. What you got?
False alarm. They're gone. It's a buggy.
Oh. Is there an extended AR mag floating
Yes,
around,
right here.
like just on the ground somewhere? You just dropped it. All right, real
Right
mature,
here.
dude. Do you have like one?
Yeah, no. I have no. It's here because I have one for my DMR. That's all I need. I don't need one for my AR.
Okay, that's how I feel too.
That's sharing. I mean, that's fair. I wasn't gonna give you both of mine. I mean, could.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you were giving me your only one.
No, never do that. No. I mean, maybe I would. You don't. I'm just gonna pretend and say no. I never do. Owie.
Those are shots.
Those
That's
are the
actual
buggy guys.
real
Yeah,
shots.
They found us out. That's north 345 roughly. No. Oh, is it a tree? No. Oh, I see.
Are they on our level?
He's at my mark. Quick mark. The one up there. Knocked him. Owie.
Nice.
Another one's shooting me though. Alright, finished. Because we're not playing that game where he gets
up
res
top.
and then we die again.
Yeah.
Careful, he's thirsty. I feel like we're gonna get rushed from behind soon. Biggest worry in life right now.
Trying to just like cover the. Well, I'm just trying in case he loots, but I don't know if he's gonna do that. They moved right.
Yeah, he's right. Trying to get a cheekiest angle in the world.
Who you popped me?
Oh no. I'm stuck in a chair. I think he went left now. Might have just seen his head pop up.
I still haven't seen him at all.
It's fine. I mean, they really should not have
That's
stopped
at
the
me.
buggy. I wish I could see him.
Oh, he's at a tree at the bottom of the hill, I think.
Oh, bottom. Okay.
I think so. I can't tell for sure. It looks like he has a tight peak.
Mark 355 middle hill.
I gotta heal.
Hit twice. Insta.
Nice.
Woo. Ham bone. It's like a budget hambino. Ham bone. You know?
Hamboni.
Yes. Ham bone. Oh man. Okay, so that one was from a boss Bosco. Bosco.
Oh.
Yeah, you know Bosco. Makes your YouTube stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And that's a cue for everybody to check out Reed's YouTube stuff. Link in the description.
Yay.
Where's the description though? Is it on your page?
Yeah, everything's down under my stream pretty much. Or there's
Check
a
it out,
command for most
subscribe.
things.
Especially if you're not donating during
Oh,
game showtime.
That's okay. Everything's fine. I appreciate you guys being here.
That's me getting mad at them. Don't worry. Stay out of it.
But I'm part of it. How am I supposed to stay out of it? I'm right here.
I can't really tell you.
Okay.
Oh, man, I'm in a conundrum.
That's alright. This is the who's in the hot seat now? Where's this other dude stuff? It's at the top of the hill, right?
I'm trying to find what kind of scopes this guy had.
Taco Jumper HD. What a name. That sounds very exciting. Oh, there's an 8x on this guy. That's cool. He's a AR comp also.
Car east. They're gonna blow up. Oh, lost him in the tree. Darn.
What?
Did you take the 8x? Because I have a 3 already. I'm good.
Yeah, I did take the 8x.
Good.
That guy did have some things.
Oh, who's shooting me behind? Yeah, hill.
Oh,
Or no, I
uh-oh.
forgot about it. It's way behind. Don't worry about it. Really
Well,
not an issue. Super, super not worried. Like way out there.
that's how they get you.
That Wally song.
Thanks, Macam.
There's a world out there.
Oh yeah, the one that plays on the thing.
Exactly. That's how I feel about them right now. This
I
car
was like,
guy
well, it's
seemed
not a
to just
musical.
stop.
And then I heard them boost, but like, who knows what that means?
You're right, probably. If there was 2 in there, I feels bad, man. Almost had him. So all right. What was it like in Kentucky compared to you said where's Pittsburgh and what state's Pittsburgh in?
I was actually in the middle of the state. I was born on the eastern part and lived in like the middle part of Pennsylvania, but that's like, I mean, it's a trivial detail. I think it's weird, like when you live in different parts of the countries, you kind of notice things like just the way that kind of like the baseline level of social interaction and things that people, you know, like what people default to. Like when I moved to Kentucky, like I was miserable. First of all, I was like very, very just upset to be going there and having to move and stuff. But I did notice a few nice things, like people wave at you, just like they don't know who you are. You're walking down the street or driving or whatever, and like it's not just kind of like a hey, you know, like I tip my cap to you. It's like hey, you know, like
That's
not
so
necessarily
cool.
with the yelling, but like it's very like warm and stuff.
Like Southern
And
hospitality kind of thing. That's where it comes from.
yeah,
That spirit.
yeah, and it's the same thing as Minnesota Nice. Like it's one of those things that you associate with the region, but it's also like more complicated than just here's an SLR if you want it.
Slur. Yeah, this is all you. Just stick with the mini.
Um, like there's kind of a, I think there is really kind of a downside to it. Like one of the things that tends to happen. Well, I felt like, I don't know. I feel like what in some places would be considered like cold is really kind of it's like a kind of respect. It's like you keep your head down and you don't talk to strangers or make a big deal because you think that that's like not asking too much of them. Like you don't want to force somebody to make small talk or whatever. Where in some places that's what you would do to be polite. Like Minnesota Nice, like the flip side of that, I think, is that there is a lot of like passive aggression, and it's just like that's the way it goes. Like people have different ways of communicating, whether it's verbal or nonverbal. But you definitely notice stuff like that when you move around the country. You definitely start seeing here and there little things that.
Yeah. You know, Canadians are really passive aggressive, right?
I've heard that. I mean, like, I think there's.
More like traffic.
Traffic? Oh, they're passive aggressive in traffic?
Yes.
There are a lot of people who are passive aggressive in traffic. I just get frustrated. I have like a very like rules oriented personality in a lot of ways, and traffic is one of those things. Like I want to make the thing that's legally correct, like do the thing that's legally correct, even if it's the dumbest possible move, and that actually causes way more problems for me and for other people than it. Yeah, it's.
Your signal blind spot. You know, a lot of people don't do it. It's one of the excuses I've heard from officers pulling people over because I talked to a few of them. I've been like, I'm a grown man. I don't need to use no signal.
Yep.
It's like, well, I mean, check your blind spot. Now get out of the way when I start moving.
Yeah. Feels bad. It's one of those things that, like, you see it. I mean, video games, I think, trained me to look for it. It's just like a lot of people think that they're the one person in the world. Like, they scream at other people and freak out because they have a lot of cognitive dissonance. I think there's a part of them that's saying, I'm the best, other people are holding me back, and there's a part of them saying, I'm just another person, and I really shouldn't be this way. But
yes, I like that. That's a really good kind of broad take on everything, dude. There's something I wanted to mention. So, who do you think asked about Kentucky? You probably would know, but somebody who knows you well, very well. Well, I mean, someone who's been around you.
Is that one, Eric? Who is that?
I call him the Rocky Chaco.
The Rocky Chaco.
So, crossword puzzle clue.
Oh boy.
Dead center. Let's go get that 3-stack if you want.
Is this like a? Is the rock supposed to be like a clue? Oh, there's a guy in the building, the 3-story that we were in before. He's in the 2nd story.
Oh, I see.
He's on the roof.
I don't know if he sees me.
Oh, somebody sees you.
No. Yeah, that's
Oh boy.
smoke.
I don't think
He's
I'm gonna get a
north,
chance to. Yeah, he's got an arm. Is that right?
Yes, he does. He's trying. They're both trying.
This feels quite bad. Bummer.
It's all
What a bad
good.
spot to notice.
Well, it's fine. It
It's fine.
was just bad timing because then the guy was in the building and then we were like, oh no, don't go. And then, but if we went in and he wasn't there, then we would have been fine, probably.
It's Joe Donuts. Oh my goodness, is it Joe Donuts?
No, it might be. I need to check. Troll.
Oh no. No, I was asking who asked the question. Joe Donuts is in
okay,
my
I was
chat.
Like, I thought he was killing us in duos.
Hey, Uncle One Eye.
That was actually your boy Teeve.
Oh.
He mentioned also like can you just briefly explain your fascination with history and paleontology and you collected fossils and artifacts and things. So, like, what do you like about that? Like, what are some of your favorite historical moments or things that you were really interested in growing up?
Oh yeah, you asked me that earlier. One of the things I got it weirdly into like I mean, it's not that weird. It's what's really weird is how obsessed people get with large scale tragedies in general. But like one of the first things I remember getting interested in, like academically, I guess, was the Titanic. The reason that I got to go see the movie, even though I was like 9 years old or something, was that I had been so interested in it, like just as a subject before the movie came out. But the Civil War later on was very interesting to me. The U.S. Civil War, I guess I should say. They're like I don't know. There are moments that I feel like the Titanic is really interesting as like almost like a parable. It's like a very tidy incident that connects to a lot of different things, and in particular, I guess, people's self-delusion, which is always interesting. But I guess that's redundant. But the Civil War is really interesting to me, I guess, partly because it's like extremely well documented. Like you can look at all these battles and just like there's a record of like every strategic decision that was made, every tactical decision. There are people who are like complete idiots who did amazingly stupid things, and then there were people who were like nobodies who did things that were just incredible. It's one of those things where there's a whole range of things that are interesting for various reasons.
For
And
various reasons. And like, what is there an American battle or a moment that stands out in your mind that as being one of the most amazing or ridiculous things?
in the Civil War or just in general?
In general, even in American history against the Redcoats, who knows?
Yeah, I think like I think the Vietnam War definitely stands out. It's not a fun one, but like we were pretty committed to fighting a war there. Like it wasn't going well, and we just really wanted that thing to happen. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty
a lot of people didn't make it that easy for the war to happen, for the war to continue, and a couple of people were like, you know what, this has to be a thing. Nice murder. That's really interesting to think about. A lot of stuff that connects to this game is like the history of like weapons,
Yeah.
which is sometimes very frustrating. You know, it's pretty much always frustrating, but all right, where's this other dude?
He's on me.
Okay.
I have like guns that are decent, but nothing else.
Oh, that's not the man that
Different
I
dude?
thought.
Yeah, house. Hit him.
Yeah, big house.
Oh, I think I thought I shot him in the head.
Got him.
Nice. Insta, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a legend, you know that? If you vault, I wonder what
Same.
happens if you vault and someone's in the way. Do you just like launch off of them or? Nail it?
I don't know. He probably becomes like a two-headed monster. You each control different parts of the body. That's my guess.
Fair enough. That's. Oh no!
Oh, there's more. Uh-oh.
Come back! Come back! Come back! Oh no, you can't. Okay. You can peek out, I guess.
Uh-oh. That's fine.
Just hide if you can. I'm just gonna banish just a quick more second. He's coming, I think. Where is he? I hear him. I don't see him.
He was around back. I don't know where. Sounds like he's in the house now. I don't know how many there are.
Probably two. This is difficult. Yeah, he's pulled off. I'm not sure why. Might have run out back for the other houses to loot.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe he only had a revolver, but
Yeah. There's a helmet here if you want it. And you need. Oh, no, you're boosted. Okay. We can rush. He could just be camping. Oh, he's on the porch. On the stairs. Stairs, left side or right side on the porch. Where'd he go? He jumped off. Is he out below? Is this coming up? Where'd he go? Another one here on me? Oh no, I don't know where the other one is. Is this friend here?
I don't know.
I don't know. I need his first aid.
Like, I thought I
here's
saw
a boost
two
for you.
guys land
Okay.
here, and this guy's like up with nobody.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Was that the guy who landed solo with us earlier? Interesting.
Bandaging. That was weird. Oh, also, what is pop quiz here? What does ATV stand for in the Star Wars franchise?
ATV. Wait, hang on. Oh, is this okay? Is this Broadstroke? And she's asking what
You already
the.
guessed
She
it.
doesn't remember. It's the AT-AT,
There we go. Yeah, she's just.
and it's what? Oh man, now I'm like scared. All-terrain assault transport. Is that what it is?
I don't even know. I think you went either way, actually.
I don't remember.
You're the victor of our hearts, Reed.
AT-AT. What
She
is
said
this?
she got that wrong once, and I'll never let her forget it.
All-terrain armored transport. I go back and forth between the things.
You
I
out
got
here?
the wrong one again. I got the wrong one again. I got it wrong twice. I hate myself for that. I honestly
It's all
like.
good.
I do a lot of like not hating myself these days, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, like one of the things that's great for your self-esteem is when like a bunch of strangers on the internet show up to watch you play video games or whatever. Like
Yes.
one thing that definitely tilts me is getting that same question wrong over and over. That's a major feels bad.
That's a tilt. Okay, I'll remember that one for future reference. And okay, so one of her questions as well. You have a master's degree in creative writing. What has influenced you as a streamer, and how has that impacted your approach to video games?
Like what from writing?
Yeah, specifically just that.
I think definitely one of the things that plays into it is just like honestly, I feel like studying creative writing, a lot of the lessons that you learn, I guess I was kind of alluding to it earlier, a lot of the lessons you learn about creating content, you can think of writing as creating content. I think more and more that's an appropriate thing, an appropriate way to look at it. And so, you know, like studying something creative, like creative writing, isn't necessarily a way of guaranteeing that you'll be able to make good content, but it does give you a couple of little tricks here and there, and it also does teach you about how to like, it helps you contextualize it. It helps you develop kind of a perspective on it that makes sense. I really think, like, I don't know, there are so many misconceptions about writing and about creating content, I think, and it's just being able to avoid some of those things, being able to have more realistic expectations is very helpful, because a lot of it really is a grind. A lot of it is like you have to have a lot of patience. You have to be able to accept a lot of things that are not a lot of fun to accept. I mean, I think everybody at one point or another, even like, you know, like before Chaco started streaming, I did a little streaming of Roller Coaster Tycoon, like,
Yeah.
just a very, you know, like maybe a couple of dozen streams or something.
Found us a bike too. Take this out.
Oh, perfect. It's never fun to have like two people watching you. It just doesn't feel good for anybody, and there are very few people who don't have that experience at one point or another.
Yeah.
But you just, you know, like it's the same thing in writing. Like getting 6 people to read something that you've written is great. You know, like nobody owes you their time or attention, and I guess respecting that is an important part of kind of starting somewhere and building on it. Plenty of people do have something to say. I think just about everybody has a book in them. You know, like a lot of people like to talk about that, but
Yeah.
the thing that determines whether you actually write something or not is not whether you have something to write about. It's whether you have the like follow through, and you have the, you know, like realistic expectations.
The chutzpah.
Yeah, well, and just to be able to show up every day and do something, like that's a lot of it. You're not gonna sit down and bang out a novel in a day. Like,
Yeah. Well, my aunt's got a couple novels.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's won a few awards. She's written some novels about from perspectives, like first-person perspectives of refugees migrating on a boat together, all from like different. Yeah, I can send you a link to the novel, but like, yeah, she said the same thing exactly, which is just like you just need to work at it and every day, little by little, and then you put everything together, and it takes a lot of time. It's not glamorous, obviously. We might hit the tree here. That's fine. We're good.
It sucks.
I'm a professional.
You did a great job. That's part of the reason that this is so fulfilling, though. It's like, you know, like I don't have to do this every day for a month and then people are gonna see it. It's like there's somebody here all the time saying like, oh, that was fun, or like, oh, that sucked. You know, like it's so, like, so much more gratifying more quickly. Oh, this door's open.
It's okay.
To have people like with you every step of the way. It's very, very lonely and frustrating to do it yourself.
You legend.
Hey, you just gotta shoot him. I don't know.
Is right? Yeah. Okay, let me throw something. There was an arm shot, probably or oh, there's another.
Oh,
guy
more.
coming. No.
Uh-oh.
They have 71 bullets. Okay.
This is okay.
They're more north. Yeah. Oh, they heard the smoke. I'm so sorry. Let me smoke your in front of you too, and smoke here. So if you want, you can come to the door.
I'm not gonna loot yet. I'm gonna.
If you want to come up here, you want to come to my building? This is like a super good place to hide. They're definitely on us. Southwest, southwest. Behind us. Oh, he's
How, that was gotta be a different team.
It is, yeah.
That's okay.
I jumped up on the ledge, and I think the animation of jumping wobbled my gun. Also had an
Oh, there's the other guys.